What's up, you guys? I hope you're very well. I hope you're having a very nice day. Today, I want to slip transplant this little oak tree. This is a oak tree that I've been working as bonsai for a couple of years now, maybe four, uh, maybe five. But you can see that it's developed a nice little structure. And the overall design that I have in mind for this is just, a natural looking little oak. The species of this tree in particular is I think it's I don't remember actually, but I think a very similar species to the leaf shape that I encounter in this is pin oak or Quercus palustris. I'll check out the videos because I've worked with this little guy in previous videos, and I'll tell you what it is. But yeah, it's a type of oak that has been growing well where I live. So yeah, I quite like this. I have another one that I also transplanted to the pot that I'm gonna use actually, but it didn't survive. I travel uh, fairly often, and in this particular occasion that I travel, I left someone in charge of my plants, and you know, they might not have watered it how you're supposed to water it, and it didn't make it. Anyway, so we continue with this one. This is the last red oak that I've got, and you can see now that this is the foliage that it didn't drop. If you were to pull on it, you can see that the tree no longer has any use for them. Actually, it's already preparing for the foliage for this season. I'm not gonna defoliate it just because you can see that it's starting to become active there. You can see the green tips. So yeah, I'm just gonna leave it like that. If I see any leaves are definitely not working like these, I might remove those like what I'm doing right now. But other than that, I'm not gonna do anything. And I said it was going to be a slip transplant because I don't want to touch the roots very much. If I see a huge root that maybe it's going to affect the health of the tree by stressing it because it runs around the pot. Maybe that's going to be the case. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take it out of the container, and then we'll take a look at the roots. Let's see what we got. Okay, so I'm going to pause the video, and then I'll show you what we have. So here we go. So here we are. This is what we're working with. Not bad actually. You can see that the gnarly, no longer useful roots are growing on the sides of the container. You see them there circling around the container. And you can see that from inner sections or inner parts of the root mass, we can see this nice active roots. That's exactly what we want. And we can see that it's also developed a nice nevari, yeah, nice root base. And we can see red, reddish roots there are going to be very good for the transplant. So, like I said, I'm not going to touch the roots very much. I am just going to get rid of the ones that I told you, like those circling the pot. But that's pretty much going to be it. So, I'm going to cut them now, uh, pause the video again, and show you what it looks like when I finish. So, here I go. So, these are the roots that I cut, and this is our new root mass. You can see that it's still got a ton, still has a ton of roots there. Nice radial pattern there. And yeah, I think it's going to be no problem for it to survive. So I'm going to show you the pot that I'm going to use. And that's pretty much going to be it. I am going to wire this branch and this branch only because I just want to place it in position, you know. And I think I'm also going to cut a couple of little branches here. This is the sacrifice branch, very clearly defined there. But yeah, this is going to be a short video. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, so here is the pot. You can see that is the previous one that I used. Well, the one that I used previously. You can see that the tree is now in position. It's just a matter of, you know, filling filling the pot with bonsai soil. Um, yeah, I try and placed it a little off to the center so that we could appreciate the Navari and so that it can continue to have space to grow. But yeah, I think it's gonna look really good once it's finished. I didn't add any wire to anchor it. I didn't apply any of that, just because this is a fairly deep pot. So the root structure is going to continue to develop, and I think it's going to give this tree a lot of stability. So when I was telling you about the leaves that I'm going to remove, I didn't see this ones at the top. Maybe it's difficult for the camera to focus there, but you can see that yeah, no focusing in this camera. Uh, so this is a useless phone. Sorry about that. Also, sorry about my neighbor's little dog. Oh, there we go. Those are the ones that I'm going to remove. You can see that it was starting to develop the reddish color of the fall, but it didn't quite set in. Um, that's what happened. But these are useless. If you just do this, they will fall. So anyway, I'm going to continue shoveling in the soil, and then a little bit of chopstick action over here. And yeah, that's going to be all. Oh, by the way, I wanted to tell you about this. This is terrible scarring from the wiring in the past. I think I'm going to apply some Dremel here, I'm going to come in with a Dremel tool and try to smooth this out. Let's see what happens. It's not very orthodox, but I think it could look good, from a woodworker's perspective. So I'm gonna continue doing this, and yeah, I think the next step would be for me to wire this. I'm gonna apply the wire, place the branches into position, and we're gonna call this a day. Okay, so here I go. So here we are, already planted. You can see the tools, the residues, and here we got the little branch into position. Yeah, I don't know. This junction should have been tighter, so we had more control of this branch in particular. But if you look at it from you know from the distance, it kind of adds to the overall broom style, don't you think? It looks uh good. It's acceptable, I think. So we'll see what happens. The good thing is that these little branches are still flexible. So if in the future I need to make some adjustments, I will be able to do that. Anyway, sacrifice branch over here. I'm going to continue to leave it there. I'm just going to continue to focus on the ramification as well. So the last pause would be so I can place this in the watering area. I'm going to give this a nice soak. And yeah, that's going to be the end of it. So here we go. So here we are. Yeah, I think it's looking good. I think we're gonna make it, guys. So let's check the drainage of the substrate and the pot. A bit of water, and it's draining nicely. So I think this is gonna be no problem for the little guy to adapt. No problem for the little guy to thrive in the coming years. And yeah, another addition to my collection. Yeah. So anyway, the last thing that I'm gonna do, I told you this is gonna be the ending, but the last thing is sometimes I recycle little pieces of wire that I've had applied in other trees and that are no longer useful. So that's exactly what I did there, and I'm gonna show you where I got it from, just to give you a little preview of what's yeah going to be feature in the channel in the next videos. Yeah. So let's go ahead and see that. And here we have it. I had that little piece of wire in this little trunk because in the past it had been growing super in a super straight angle. So what I did is I just put two pieces of wire there and tried to bend it into a more natural looking little tree. This is a little mulberry tree, and I planted it here in this little nursery bag because I didn't have any good containers at the moment. But you know what I mean. So yeah, like I said, I hope you have a good day today. Continue to have a good Thursday, almost a weekend. If you have any doubts, comments, questions, anything, drop them down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay, bye.